enterprising businessman who chops down all of the truffula trees to manufacture these wildly popular garments called thneeds. But in this new Lorax movie, that's all in the past. It's a story within a story. In the present day of the film, we're living in the aftermath of the Onceler. There are 0 trees, and the one city that we see, Thneedville, is a synthetic consumerist mecca run by a new businessman who's come to power, Aloysius O'Hare, who built his empire on selling bottled air.
That became a
While Mr. O'Hare officially is a businessman, he basically just runs the place.
Everyone round here works for me.
And he has his own secret police that try to stop our main character Ted when he attempts to sneak out of town. Thneedville is basically a corporatocracy, a word that sounds like it was made up in a Dr. Seuss book, but nope, it's actually right here in the dictionary, because truth is more ridiculous than fiction sometimes. The business model of O'Hare's Air Company, we're told, is that bottled air is made in a factory which manufactures plastic bottles.
You gotta be kidding me. You really think people are stupid enough to buy this?
Our research shows that if you put something in a plastic bottle, people will buy it.
Of course, there's an obvious conflict of interest here. The factories that manufacture O'Hare's plastic bottles spew smog, which in turn drives more people to buy bottled air.
The more smog in the sky, the more people will buy.
But if you take a closer look at what's going on, O'Hare might not be the villain that the movie sets him out to be. Because as much as what I've described sounds like a dystopia, if you look at the actual lives led by the people in Thneedville, the movie actually tells us a completely different story. For starters, the most dystopian part of this might be the idea that people are paying for air. It'd be pretty dang evil if O'Hare monopolized the most vital resource of all and then locked it behind a paywall, forcing people to pay him if they want to live, but that's not what's happening here. It's not as if everyone in this society is spending their lives strapped to an oxygen tank. Sure, some of them buy bottled air for their homes, but they can just go outside at any point and breathe the air for free. In fact, on the extended version of the opening song that appears on the soundtrack, O'Hare straight up tells us this fact.
I sell them something they can get for free.
And it's not as if the air outside looks all that polluted. People are dancing and singing in the streets without having any health concerns. They're not coughing, they're not struggling in any sort of way. Compare that to what the town was like before Aloysius O'Hare showed up, and you got yourself a different story.
Wonder what the next $1 million invention's gonna be.
Yeah. I wonder.
The air quality was so bad that people outside were indeed coughing and wheezing. What I'm getting at is that though people act as though this bottled air is something that they need in order to breathe, the bottled air they buy isn't really improving the quality of the air that they have access to in their homes or outside. It is pure placebo effect, and we can prove it using science. Take a closer look at those bottled air machines inside of people's homes. We see that they